Welcome, miladies of inestimable value. Disrespect a Sigma female, and you might think you've gotten away with it, until you feel a chill in the air and realize you've just made a fatal miscalculation. Studies show that people often equate silence with submission, but that's a dangerous assumption when dealing with a Sigma female. Her silence isn't surrender, it's a warning shot. She doesn't waste energy on loud, dramatic reactions because she knows that real power is in the cold, calculated moves that leave her offender second-guessing every word they uttered. Let's face it, provoking a Sigma female is like trying to pet a sleeping lion. It might look unbothered, but you're only moments away from regretting your bravery. I will encourage you to watch till the end for better understanding and perspective. Ready to unravel and uncover? Now let's discuss this queenly questers, shall we? Number 1. They withdraw in silence, but not out of defeat. When a Sigma female faces disrespect, she doesn't need to engage in a back and forth or get loud to make her point. Instead, she uses silence as her strongest weapon. But don't mistake this for submission or fear. It's the purest form of self-control and confidence. The thing about silence is that it leaves room for the other person to stew in their own actions, replaying the conversation in their head, wondering if they crossed a line. And while they're obsessing over it, she's already moved on. It's like being left on read, but in real life, and trust me, it stings a whole lot more. A Sigma female's silence says, "I heard you, but your words don't carry enough weight for me to respond." This kind of response is not only unsettling to the offender, but also makes them question their approach. It's an unsettling realization that their attempt to provoke her fell flat. Her refusal to engage demonstrates that she's not interested in giving away her power or even her attention to someone who clearly doesn't deserve it. The beauty of this cold silence is its strategic elegance. It's a deliberate choice, not an accidental reaction. Sigma females don't react impulsively or with knee-jerk responses. She knows that sometimes the loudest statement is the absence of words. So while the person who disrespected her is busy scrambling to interpret her silence, she's already off pursuing more meaningful things, like her ambitions, goals, and the occasional strong cup of coffee. If you're ever on the receiving end of this silence, consider it a warning shot fired with pinpoint accuracy. The message is clear. There's no point in even trying to rattle her. She's mastered the art of being unbothered. Number 2, the ice block stare that shuts down. Nonsense. When someone crosses a Sigma female, she doesn't react with shouting or dramatic comebacks. Instead, she deploys something far more unnerving: the ice block stare. This isn't your everyday glare or an attempt to intimidate. It's a look so piercing and void of emotion that it feels like stepping into an unexpected Arctic wind, freezing and jolting all at once. The ice block stare isn't designed to threaten. It's meant to convey one simple message: you're not worth my words. What makes this stare so powerful is its intensity and the complete absence of any emotional reaction. When faced with disrespect, most people instinctively want to express anger or hurt. But a Sigma female, she's mastered the art of withholding her emotions, and her stare is like a deadpan reply that leaves the offender feeling small. In her eyes, there's nothing, not even a flicker of annoyance, because she isn't giving them the satisfaction of a reaction. And this throws people off. When you hurl disrespect at someone, you're usually prepared for a clash, some counter-response to escalate the drama. But the Sigma female's stare doesn't play along. It doesn't raise its voice, make excuses, or engage in a heated exchange. It just calmly communicates that she's above it all, and your little outburst didn't even make a dent in her day. Her stare isn't a performance. It's a choice to show how insignificant the situation is to her. And while her offender is left trying to decipher what just happened, she's likely already mentally organizing her next steps or planning her weekend. To be on the receiving end of the ice block stare is to realize you've just thrown a pebble at a mountain. Nothing's going to move except you backing away slowly. Number 3, cutting off access without announcing it. When a Sigma female decides to cut someone off, it's not a loud, dramatic affair. It's a quiet, strategic exit that's almost surgical in precision. She doesn't need grand declarations or social media rants to announce her departure. Instead, she simply makes it clear that access to her has been permanently revoked. It's like trying to swipe a keycard that just stopped working overnight. One moment you're in, and the next you're locked out with zero explanations. For a Sigma female, it's not about making a scene or seeking revenge. She sees no value in pouring energy into someone who's disrespected her. Instead, she operates on a principle of conservation. If you drain her energy or bring negativity, she'll quietly sever the connection and redirect her time toward people and things that actually matter. There's no lingering animosity, just a firm decision to remove what's no longer worth her attention. And the thing is, she doesn't owe anyone an explanation. When someone shows disrespect, they've already crossed a line, and from that moment, she considers them irrelevant. It's not personal, it's a practical choice. And if the person starts to notice they're suddenly left out of her plans or conversations, it won't be because she delivered a dramatic speech. It'll be because she methodically cut the thread connecting them and walked away, leaving them to figure it out. In many ways, this silent departure is more impactful than any argument could ever be. There's no apology to accept or fight to win, just a clean cut that leaves the offender questioning what went wrong. It's both the simplest and most brutally effective way a Sigma female deals with disrespect. Access to her life is a privilege, and once that door closes, she doesn't look back. Number 4, matching indifference with indifference. When someone disrespects a Sigma female, she doesn't waste her breath or emotional energy trying to match their pettiness or rudeness. Instead, she counters with a wall of complete indifference. It's not that she doesn't notice the disrespect. She just chooses to treat it as insignificant, like background noise she can tune out. By giving the offender zero emotional feedback, she sends a clear message. You don't even matter enough to ruffle my feathers. Indifference is more powerful than it seems. Most people thrive on reactions, even negative ones, because it validates their behavior and gives them a sense of control. But when a Sigma female responds with indifference, it's like throwing a tantrum at a brick wall. It gets you nowhere and leaves you feeling foolish. Her calm and detached demeanor not only leaves the offender hanging, but also flips the script, making them the one who feels small and insignificant. This isn't about pretending not to care. It's about genuinely refusing to let other people's issues become her problems. If someone tries to rattle her with disrespect, she's not going to hand over her power by engaging or explaining herself. Instead, she remains unmoved, like she's watching a boring TV rerun that she's too tired to react to. The less she cares, the more her indifference gets under their skin, and suddenly the offender is left trying to figure out why their antics didn't have the desired effect. Her indifference isn't cold-hearted, it's just strategic. She knows that the best way to disarm a person looking for a reaction is to deny them one. It's almost funny in a way, like watching someone dance in the rain, hoping you'll join, while you're just casually sipping your coffee and staying dry. Number 5, the call-out, delivered in one quiet, surgical sentence. When a Sigma female faces disrespect, she doesn't seek validation through conflict or indulge in endless debates. Instead, she uses a tactic that's both disarming and devastating: brutal honesty. There's no sugarcoating, no dancing around the issue. She calls it out exactly as it is, and she doesn't do it for the drama or to prove a point. She does it because she values clarity over pretense. But here's the catch. She's not just brutally honest with others. She's just as blunt with herself. This means she's immune to guilt-tripping or manipulative attempts to twist the narrative. She sees through these games and doesn't play along. If someone disrespects her, she'll lay it out with unfiltered precision, highlighting not just what they did, but why it was unacceptable. This level of directness isn't meant to humiliate or dominate. It's designed to shut down any future attempts at disrespect. People often expect emotional responses when they push someone's buttons, so this approach catches them off guard. They brace for anger or defensiveness, but instead, they get hit with clear, undeniable facts. It's like being served a cold dish of reality without any garnish, and while she's being straightforward, she's not going out of her way to be cruel or condescending. She's simply taking the shortest path to the truth. This approach can be unsettling to those who aren't used to it. But for the Sigma female, it's just a matter of practicality. Why waste time on pretenses when you can cut straight to the core of the issue? And the best part? She leaves no room for misinterpretation or excuses. In a world full of sugar-coated lies and passive-aggressive remarks, her blunt honesty feels like a cold splash of water to anyone who thought they could mess with her. Number 6. Shifting her focus to what matters while making sure they see it. When a Sigma female is disrespected, she doesn't waste her energy plotting revenge or even confronting the offender. Instead, she takes all that energy and redirects it towards the things that truly matter to her, whether it's her goals, passions, relationships, or self-improvement. And she makes sure everyone sees it. It's not that she's trying to prove anything. It's that her actions naturally show where her priorities lie. Her response is a subtle but powerful message. Your attempt to bring me down is so insignificant that I barely even noticed it. It's almost like she's saying, "Oh, you thought you could derail me? Watch me focus even harder." This approach not only leaves the offender feeling irrelevant, but also highlights how little their insult affected her. Rather than engaging in petty exchanges or getting trapped in emotional back and forths, she doubles down on what's actually worth her attention, her ambitions, her growth, and her happiness. It's like throwing shade without even looking in their direction. And this strategy is far more effective than any snarky comeback or heated argument. When the person who disrespected her sees that she's completely unbothered and thriving, it not only leaves them confused but also powerless. They were hoping to provoke a reaction or create a distraction, but all they got was a front-row seat to watch her succeed. By focusing on what matters and refusing to give time or attention to those who don't, she not only protects her peace, but also reinforces her boundaries. It's a move that's both graceful and ruthless, showing that her path is too valuable to be disrupted by anyone's negativity. In the end, the disrespect doesn't dent her confidence, it only sharpens her focus. Number 7. Calculated isolation of the offender. When a Sigma female is disrespected, she doesn't rush to retaliate or cause a scene. She plays the long game quietly and strategically, isolating the offender without uttering a single word about it. This isn't about making enemies or being petty. It's a calculated move to cut out the negativity from her environment while maintaining her own peace. Instead of confronting them head-on, she lets the offender experience the slow chill of being edged out, socially, professionally, or in whatever space they've overstepped. This gradual isolation is often so subtle that the offender doesn't even realize what's happening until it's too late. One moment, they're in the loop, involved in discussions or invited to events, and then gradually they find themselves on the outside looking in. The Sigma female doesn't make an announcement or create drama. She just stops giving them any relevance in her life. It's as if she's rearranged her circle and somehow they didn't make the cut. And this isn't done impulsively. She's not about temporary moves or making emotional decisions in the heat of the moment. Instead, she steps back, watches, and slowly repositions her life in a way that excludes the offender. Over time, they'll notice that she no longer seeks their input, includes them in her plans, or acknowledges their opinions. This deliberate approach leaves the offender with no explanation, no confrontation, and a lingering feeling of confusion as they try to piece together what they did wrong. In the end, it's a highly effective way for a Sigma female to handle disrespect. She doesn't raise her voice or waste her breath on arguments. She simply reconfigures her life, making sure that those who crossed her no longer hold any place of influence in it. And without needing to say a thing, her message is received loud and clear. Number 8. Reaffirming her worth by elevating her standards. When a Sigma female encounters disrespect, she doesn't dwell on the offense or demand an apology. Instead, she uses it as an opportunity to quietly raise the bar on the type of company she keeps. Without making any dramatic declarations or playing the victim, she reevaluates her standards and decides that those who fail to respect her simply don't meet her new criteria. It's not about being cold or dismissive. It's about self-respect and growth. Disrespect acts as a wake-up call, a reminder that her time and energy are valuable and should be invested in those who genuinely appreciate and uplift her. By elevating her standards, she ensures that only people who align with her values and respect her boundaries remain in her life. This subtle shift isn't something she announces, it's something she lives by. She doesn't need to tell anyone about her new standards because her actions speak for themselves. Those who pay attention will see that her circle has become more refined, more selective. Raising the bar sends a clear message without confrontation. It's as if she's saying, "I'm not lowering my standards to accommodate your disrespect. I'm raising them to honor my worth." The people who disrespected her may not even realize they've been left behind until they notice her interactions have shifted. They may see her gravitating towards new friends, colleagues, or opportunities that match the higher standards she's set. The change is silent but unmistakable, and it leaves no room for doubt about where they stand. By reaffirming her worth and refining her standards, she not only protects her peace, but also reinforces her sense of self. The offender is left to recognize on their own that their disrespect didn't shake her. It motivated her to aim higher. It's not about shutting people out. It's about surrounding herself with those who genuinely value her. Number 9. Refusing to change her demeanor to appease. When faced with disrespect, a Sigma female stands firm in her authenticity and refuses to alter her demeanor to appease anyone else. You won't catch her faking a smile or softening her sharp responses just to make someone else comfortable. Her neutrality isn't a sign of indifference. It's a powerful declaration of her self-assuredness. She understands that she's not responsible for managing the feelings of others, especially when they've overstepped their boundaries. Her expression remains steady and composed, reflecting the strength she carries within. A Sigma female doesn't believe in sacrificing her truth for the sake of someone else's ego. When she encounters disrespect, she might not react with overt anger or passive aggression. Instead, she presents a calm yet undeniable presence. It's as if she's a still lake, beautiful but deep, and you never quite know what's beneath the surface. Her neutral demeanor signals that she won't tolerate any nonsense, and her sharp responses leave no room for misinterpretation. This refusal to change her behavior not only protects her peace, but also communicates a strong message to the offender. Your discomfort isn't my problem. It's a subtle but effective way to establish boundaries and assert her worth without having to raise her voice. People quickly learn that she's not one to be trifled with, and her steadfastness only adds to her mystique. While others may feel compelled to play nice or conform to social expectations, she remains unwavering. It's not about being confrontational, it's about maintaining her integrity. By not bending her character to smooth over someone else's rough edges, she reaffirms her strength and independence. Her presence speaks volumes, proving that she won't compromise who she is, no matter the situation. In the end, it's this authenticity that commands respect and sets her apart from those who thrive on drama and superficiality. Number 10. Making her achievements speaks louder than insults. For a Sigma female, disrespect is merely a catalyst for growth, not a reason for confrontation. Instead of wasting her breath on petty comebacks or trying to prove a point through verbal sparring, she excels back, letting her achievements do the talking. When someone crosses her, it only ignites her ambition, driving her to channel that energy into tangible results. Instead of getting caught up in the drama or retaliating with a harsh word, she immerses herself in her passions and goals, demonstrating that she's not easily shaken. Each time someone underestimates her or tries to belittle her, she uses that doubt as fuel to reach new heights. It's like she takes their negativity and transforms it into motivation, proving through her accomplishments that their insults are meaningless. When she achieves something significant, be it in her career, personal projects, or any endeavor, she makes sure those results shine bright. She doesn't need to broadcast every success. The ripple effect of her achievement speaks volumes. People start to take notice when she consistently outperforms expectations and surpasses the standards they set for her. Their words lose all power as she proves them wrong through undeniable actions. This approach does more than just serve as a silent rebuttal. It sends a message that her worth isn't tied to what others think or say. By focusing on her successes, she cultivates an environment where respect is earned through merit, not mere opinions. As she climbs higher, those who once doubted her will inevitably find themselves questioning their own judgments. In the end, her achievements are like a beacon, illuminating her path and drowning out the noise of any disrespect. While others may dwell in negativity, she elevates herself, reminding everyone around her that actions will always eclipse words. It's a powerful reminder that the best response to disrespect is to rise above it, letting success be her ultimate comeback. Miladies, a Sigma female's response to disrespect is a masterclass in strength, self-respect, and subtlety. Rather than engaging in petty back-and-forths, she transforms negativity into motivation, allowing her achievements to shine as a testament to her worth. By elevating her standards and maintaining her authentic demeanor, she crafts a life where respect is inherent, not negotiated. Her ability to isolate negativity without confrontation and to keep her focus on what truly matters makes her a force to be reckoned with. It's not just about handling disrespect, it's about redefining what it means to be empowered in the face of it. As she continues to rise, the world around her shifts, and those who once underestimated her are left to grapple with the consequences of their actions. Ultimately, her journey is a reminder that real power lies in how we choose to respond to challenges. She doesn't just clap back, she excels back, proving that true strength is measured by results, not reactions. In a landscape filled with noise, her silence speaks volumes, and her success becomes the loudest answer of all. If you enjoyed diving into the world of Sigma females and their unapologetic ways of handling disrespect, don't just sit there. Smash that subscribe button. Join our growing community where we explore all things extraordinary and get a front row seat to more insights that'll keep you empowered and entertained. Who knows? You might just discover your inner Sigma along the way. So hit subscribe, turn on those notifications, and let's keep this fun ride going together. Thanks for watching, Jules. See you in the next video. Bye for now and stay blessed.